no one really cares. I'll give you like two scenarios where you really understand no one cares about men. One, as a man, when you come out and express your feelings, you're basically a weak man. Even personally, I can't come out and actually express how I feel. Secondly, that's how not we were brought up. We were brought up to be stoic, to be masculine, and be able to deal with your problems and face them head on. You can't be a man who is always crying out and saying, oh, I'm having this, I have this problem, because at the end of the day, you're not going to get real help. You're not going to get sorted. And like a lady, if you collapse here right now or start crying, people are going to come to you and say, what's up, what happened? But as a man, if you do that, people just walk away and watch you.
We never share our privacy because you tell your friend and your friend exploit you. So unapata mtu anakaa na shida zake na anakuwa ile mental issues whereby unapata I feel uncomfortable sharing his things and everything. Yeah. So I believe it's a matter of privacy.
They have been neglected by the community because una get like kwa community watu wengi wana champion the girl child than the boy child. So the boy child is neglected from the word go. Unapata in some cases mtoto dem akipass anapata so many people to support her, but the boy child is being left aside. Sasa anashindwa kama hata kwa nyumba mama akiingia anatangulia kuuliza mtoto msichana ako wapi, ulizi yule mtoto kijana mali yako, anashindwa ataanzia wapi, nani ataambia shida yake, kwa sababu anaona akianza kusema shida yake hakuna mtu, obviously hakuna mtu ataambia shida yake, kwa sababu anaona hata mama akiingia kwa nyumba anatangulia kuuliza sister ako wapi, aulizi mimi niko wapi. So unapata in most cases our boy child wetu wanapotelea kwa sababu the community has really neglected the boy child.
Traditionally, men were made to be protectors and providers and not per se portray weaknesses. So men will tend to keep it to themselves, but just to ensure that they provide and they protect and not show weakness.
Well, thank you so much to everybody who, of course, gave out their views on the streets. And let me tell you, tonight's topic is so important. And if you feel as a man or also as a woman that you want to contribute, our number is like right here. You know, talk to us. You can even call us in. You can send a video. You can send a message. And we'll be happy, of course, to share it with my fantastic, panel tonight. And before we get to the sentiments that were shared, let me just introduce my fantastic, panel. I love these guys so much. Of course, starting with the Munenes.
Wow, thank you so much.
Thank you. Nice to you. Look, always vibrant. I'm telling you, this lady gives us, younger ones. Yes. I ran for our money.
Wow.
You look fantastic.
Thank you. Wow. Thank you so much.
Hey, Pastor Munene, ulichagua.
Wow.
Ukachagua.
Mara moja bila kurudi hapo tena.
Haufanya mistake.
I am a man who, when you do something, you do it once, and you do it in a good way.
And you do it absolutely.
This one I know I got the best.
You got the best.
Oh yes.
Look at her glowing over here. Thank you so much.
Yes.
It's good to see you
Thank
here,
you.
Pastor Sue.
Yes.
And then tonight we have one of the best additions we've had here on the show.
True.
Let me tell you, I'm looking at his profile. John Kanyoni, ni mrefu. I'm sure you've seen him on other mainstream media outlets. But let me just read a paragraph, a sentence actually.
Yes.
All right, John Kanyoni, I'm a mentor, motivational speaker, and masculinity coach. I'm dedicated, in empowering authentic masculinity and holistic child development through various initiatives. I'm the co-founder of Watu wa Maana. I like that word, Watu wa Maana, center. And of course, in Riru, and the founder of Safe Haven Nurtures. It goes on and on and on. Let me tell you, he's just in the right space tonight. Wow. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Betty.
Let me tell you, here we say it as it is.
Oh, yes.
Wow.
Yeah. You're here.
Yeah.
The show is called Say What? All right, I'd love to start with our guest tonight.
Yes. Okay.
Of course, John, let me talk to you about what you've just had, right? It's June. People are, talking about men's mental health. From whatever you've heard, everybody, and especially now you're seeing even young people are coming around saying, I'm weak. If you talk, you're weak. If you show emotion, you're weak. You cannot cry. You're not supposed to even show, that you're even having a bad day. How does that make you feel, as a man who's gone through all of it and now you're emancipated on the other side?
Well, thank you. Thank you, Betty, and good evening, viewers. It's a pleasure also to share a platform with the Monenes.
Thank you so much.
I think from what you've asked, what people have expressed is actually true. But I go down to why is it true? Because it's not one man, it's universally. That's what we are talking about. And I will tell you, it's not only in Kenya. Initially, I thought being a Kikuyu, I'm not being tribal, I thought it was issues of Kikuyus.
Okay.
Until I met men from other communities, then I realized it's not about the where I've come from.
Yeah.
When I started in the masculinity programs, I have interacted with people from Uganda, from Tanzania, from Rwanda, and it's all across the board. So there is something about men that there is some root cause somewhere. And the truth is we are a product of who we have been brought up to be.
Wow.
Both nature and nurture.
Yes, yes.
Nature is the genes we inherited from our parents.
Yes.
But nurture is that environment that we grew in. Things that we were told. What is the worldview that we picked up as we were growing up?
Wow.
We cannot ignore their developmental stages all along without going to the many theories of who did what. So there are stages of growing 0 to 2 years. There is something that is supposed to happen in that to that child developmentally. So as we progress on in the various stages, there are things that are put in us as men. You need to be stoic. And that alone, be strong. You need to be stoic. It is the killer, major killer of the situations in men.
Thank you.
You've just said,
Yes.
and they have said, men don't cry. That's what we were told. But I correct that in the system, in the way, and relevant to the topic that we are talking now.
Yes, yes.
I say, yes, men don't cry. But that sentence was not complete. And that's why we have a lot of problems. Men don't cry, but before women and children.
Wow.
Reason is, reason is they are looking up upon us as men. So when we cry, then they lose hope.
Yes, yes.
Oh, yes.
They lose every other thing that they were looking out for. So we become strong before them. But what we forget is, I was talking the other day, I think in one of my clips in TikTok, and I was saying it's like pressure. And everything, okay, I'm also an engineer, everything as you pressurize it, there's a limit to which it can be able to hold that pressure.
Thank you.
So most systems usually have a safety valve. Should the pressure increase beyond a certain limit, instead of bursting, the pressure valve releases.
Wow.
Now, that is what men we lack. The release of that pressure.
Not the bursting, not the explosion.
Now, because we don't have released the pressure, we burst.
Okay. I love that.
Yes.
Pastor Munene, hey, that's a strong introduction.
That's a strong
What do you
one.
think about that? There's something he said
Yes.
that men, should be able to cry, but not in front of women. Children and women.
Yes.
First of all, how do you feel about that in terms of men expressing, their emotions when that pressure he's talking about is almost getting to a certain limit?
Wow, I love what John has just said here. It's true what he has said, that, it is generally taken that men should not, show their weakness or their tears before people. And what he has said, I agree with him. A man should be strong. But then, even when you are strong, it is important to be real. It is important to be yourself. And even when you are going through something and you are passing through pressure, even if you don't show it to your family, like maybe your children and your wife, as a man, you should have a way of releasing whatever is going on in your life.
Yes.
You should have a way of letting it go. And that's why it is very, very important, Betty, for every man to have a very intimate and close relationship with God. Because that becomes your turning point. That becomes your point of now breakthrough. You know, when everything looks like it is gone, when everything looks like it is so difficult for you, and you don't want to show your weakness. Actually, men hate, you know, people to see their weakness. Even when they are going through something, they don't want to show it, you know. And that's why I'm saying that, you know, that relationship with God, that fellowship with God, you are able now to let it go. When it comes to the ladies or to the women, women are very good with the networks, with the chamas, fellowships, and all that. But you find as a man, we don't have those kind of networks. Most of the time you find that if I'm not talking to my wife, probably I am with myself or maybe with one or two people. So when things begin to happen in my life, I don't have support system. Hence, if I'm going through a challenge, you know, mental issues and all that, it will wear me down simply because I don't have a network. I don't have people that are surrounding me. So I would say it is important for men, you know, to speak it out, to talk it out. Don't hold on if something is happening in your life. There's a saying that came up the other day, ongea
ikutoke. Sema ikutoke. Sema ikutoke.
Sema ikutoke. And I think that's what my brother here is insisting. You know, but I think as men, we don't want to do that. But for me, I would say it is important to have someone you can confide into.
I love that.
Wow.
Pastor, so coming to you.
Yes.
Here we are talking, you know, our audience is actually, you know, a bigger percentage is mature. And these are men who want to do the things that John and Pastor Mnene are saying.
Yes.
How do they start? How do they start? Okay, sasa nipigie Mr. Njoroge, nipigie ule wa estate B15, nipigie this house number, tuanze kuongea. How does it start for men to start feeling like they have that, you know, cocoon of people or, you know, that solid, you know, group that can help them go through these things?
Wonderful. Thank you for that question. I want to say that there's something that John has said, and it's very powerful, that men are equally emotional, just like women are emotional. Only that women will cry anywhere and anytime because of the nature of the femininity. And that's also an energy, which is very much required. But I think it is important for the man to give hope to the children and to the wife, because he's saying you don't cry in front of your wife and your children, and not all times, because probably there could be death. So when they see you put up, that can also, but you can cry when you have that space where you can open up your emotions. And that's what Pastor Munene has said. One of the best space for a man is when you have a personal relationship with God, because as you pray, as you worship, as you praise, you can cry to God. You're getting that. You can cry and empty that thing, because the spirituality of a man also plays a very important role. You know, I tend to think Adam cried when Eve brought sin and death into the world, but he never showed that to Eve. That's what I feel, because this man must have said, you mean God will never come again to come and see me? There must be some things that were going around inside him. But because he knew what kind of a God he was relating with, he got solace, he got comfort. And that made him not to be bitter with the wife. You get that? And I want to say that to all the men, much more as you know, the God has wired you to be masculine. It is important for you to understand that women can also be a challenge to you, because we are so emotional. Sometimes men are not able to handle us in the best way possible, because they don't know how to handle extreme of things. And that calls for a man also creating that chance for a woman to vent out a little bit. Don't wait until your wife bottles up, your daughter bottles up, because where she will vent, she might vent and it might hurt you as the husband or the man. So once in a time, just like the men also need space to vent, they can also vent to the wife. Like I like the way Pastor Monene comes to me and tells me, I think I'm not happy with what you did 1, 2, 3. I found like you are disrespectful, like you never honored me, like you never, and I felt, no, that's not you. What happened? I think that's good because he's telling me next time don't repeat this. I don't want to be handled this.
But don't you think Pastor Sue is now going back, if you bring that point,
Yes.
is now going back to what women,
Eh.
you know, want from these men,
Yes.
other than actually what men want. Maybe they want peace, maybe they want a bit of understanding. So we still go back to the women. Okay, don't usimkasirishe, unajua, so that you can have peace. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Still going back to the women and saying, oh, usimkasirishe bibi yako,
Yes.
so that you actually have peace. Or should it just be like women should also be able to, you know, to nurture peace in a man? There are men who don't want to go home. They stay in the car in the parking lots for hours and hours. They want to go to the bars. They speak to the barmaids. Yesterday we were talking to Burale,
Yes, it is
and he was
true.
saying this, you know, they don't speak to the barmaids. Like many barmaids in Nairobi know, or around the country, they know more problems about what is happening in this man's life more than the wife, because nyumbani kuna ni kelele.
Kuna kelele.
So what do you think about
The
that?
reason is,
Yes.
and it's true what we are saying here.
Yeah.
Fact. Emotions, hurting, have no gender. No gender.
Yes, yes.
So men will equally be hurt just like
Just like
Just
women.
like a woman will be hurt.
Exactly.
Wow.
It is how you solve them. Now, women will talk. This man you have said, Bulala is a friend of mine, we've shared the platforms together. You will go, why is this man going to the barmaid to pour out what he should be pouring maybe at home or with another brother?
Yes.
That is where now the safe space comes in.
Wow, amazing.
Where can I be able to share what I'm going through without being judged, without being condemned, without being seen less of a man?
Yes.
Two, the society is already putting a lot of pressure to
Pressure
me
to man.
as a man.
Lot of
It's very
pressure.
true.
Right? Culture is already putting pressure
Yes.
to me.
It's very true.
Family is putting pressure to
Pressure.
me.
That is it.
I am alone. When I go to other men's circles, now can I tell you fact, and this is fact, men, we are full of competition because we want to be better than the other.
Yes, yes.
Wow.
If you don't believe me, check how we drive on the roads. I just overtake you, Monene, and all of a sudden now you
agree.
peak speed and you want to come and pick me.
Yes, full of competition.
Why? Because as men, you see, we are leaders. We have emotions, we have problems. Where do we empty them? When we are told we are to be stoic, what is the limit? There is something that was not told in us. How much can you be able to hold? Because there's a limit that you can hold, and that's the pressure that I was talking about.
Yes.
Now, what, like I've said, we don't have is a safe space. Because safety, you see, all of us when we were being born, and as we grew up, the attachment, there's something called the attachment theory. The only thing that our mind, there's a part of the mind called amygdala that keeps on scanning all around is, am I safe? Am I safe?
Thank you.
Wherever I am.
Okay. Okay.
If I'm not safe, it triggers other things. For me, adrenaline will start now coming in because whether the signal falls or true, I'm not safe.
Yes, yes.
So even if I'm seated with you as a lady and I find I'm not safe, then things start coming up.
Yes, yes.
So when I'm safe, I go full throttle. I give myself in.
Yes.
So where is that safe environment that we have?
Wow.
Men have said we compete so much. When I go to church, and I'm a believer, I'm born again, even in church, I'm judged. When I start pouring out my challenges, Pastor Munene will tell me I don't have enough faith. I don't pray enough. See? So where am I safe as a man?
Yes.
So I close in. When I close in, I'm building up that pressure that I talked about.
Yes, absolutely.
So I'll easily be irritated because I'm seeing everybody is penetrating me. Some guilt of something that I did, some judgment and condemnation that has been there. How many times have we been told men that we don't match up even by our wives?
So many times.
We are not appraised. You see, that struggle, I have left, I have gone in struggling. Then I come back. And this is the challenge I have with women, and I know we have interacted a lot with them.
Tell us.
Because, see, let me give you two scenarios
Yes.
of practically some things that I've done. I've looked at an upper market, okay, mid and living and lower. Because I'm not giving names, I'll tell you what. Where I was working, I used to have a guy. This guy was living in Kibera. That's where he could afford,
Yes.
because his salary.
All right.
He was a cashier. I would sign his docket every month for him to be paid. And I was wondering, how does this guy survive on this amount of money?
Yes.
That is 11,000 something. So I wanted to know much more about him.
Wow.
He has a family and 3 kids, a wife and 3 kids,
On 11,000.
on 11,000. So at one time, I even went to his place. And of course, we had to walk because now the car could not even get. So I was scanning around and I was seeing how happy those kids are. Have you ever seen kids in tatters? They see their dad and they are rushing and jumping to the dad. Eh? That happiness. So what does that man feel from that? It's the love. Even from the child, before he gets to the wife, he feels the child. He feels the acceptance.
Yes.
So we walk and we get home. The wife is so welcoming. And I was trying to see, is it because of me? So there are a few things, some feelers that I would do. And the wife would say, one situation that I post is, many a times, has he ever come without money in the evening? Nasema mara nyingi anakujanga bila. So what do? Namwambia tu acha niende kwa Mama Njoki, niende nikope sukuma tukule leo, kesho tutabarikiwa. And you see that kind of
Yes,
treatment.
absolutely.
Now, the other scenario,
I'm interested.
you get
to
home.
know.
You get home.
Yes.
You have driven home. You have a nice house.
Yes.
The families are there.
Yes.
You get there. There is a lot of expectation. Right?
Yes.
And of course, because you've set, we are the same problem, because we set limits.
Yes.
We try to improve the life better than the way we were brought up in the village. So we have done that. But there is no connection, there is no bonding with us. Have you ever heard of men who get home? There was activity in the living room. The minute you get in, everybody
Everybody's
starts,
starts-
including the wife. Now, if
And
there is
it
no house
happens,
girl,
yes.
that is the time she goes to wash the utensils.
Yes.
You are left alone. And you know what happens? You are brought the remotes. The one for the TV, the one for the decoder, and the one for the
Yes.
sound.
Yeah. Like
So that is your
Yes,
company.
yes, yes.
You are left there. So solace for the man is the news. Then immediately after that, you go and sleep.
You go and sleep.
Tomorrow,
Disconnection.
they are giving you a list. All right? Nobody even wanted to know how was your day.
Okay, got you.
Oh, God.
Well, I even feel, I feel sorry.
Can I say something?
Yes.
And something that John has just said. That, why all this, sickness, mental sickness from men. That's what you're talking
Yes.
tonight.
Yes.
Mental sickness for men. Just like he has said, the physical, the expectation from the society, it is too high for the man. And the pressure that the man has as a provider, as a father, as a husband, it is very high. And if you don't have a way of, getting a support system, you can easily give up. Betty, I have, by the grace of God, been also out of this country, like to the US and other countries. And you will find women are given more preference than the men. When it comes to getting good jobs, when it comes to protection,
It is true.
when it comes to rights, even in our own country, we talk about women.
Women rights.
What about the men?
Empowerment. Yes.
Let me interject there.
Yes.
Because this came from a lady
Yes.
that I was talking to, a group I was talking to. And then a lady asked me,
Yes.
when you keep on saying women are favored, women are empowered and whatever, it could be true, and it is true.
Yeah.
So she asked the million-dollar question, who empowers the women?
Pastor Sue.
The
No.
man. The man.
It is the man.
It is the man. It is the man. It is the man. Thank you. It is the man.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Like
So why should we be complaining?
Good.
We gave it all.
Yes.
It's
Right?
very
Who
Yes.
empowers the women? I like
I
that.
thought-
Then it is turning up against us.
Look at that.
when things go haywire,
Yeah, when things go haywire.
House.
You see,
you are blamed.
some years ago, and in the late 80s, early 90s, most women were not working in very senior jobs or very good jobs.
Very true.
If you go back,
Yeah,
I
that's
like
true.
history.
Yes, yes.
In the 70s,
Yes.
when did the first woman get an ID in Kenya? 1970, after Kenyatta died. Women didn't have IDs.
Okay.
Wow.
Yes,
Yes.
They belonged to the men.
they belong to the men. I'm not saying they belong to the men now.
Yes, yes.
But then, all what we did is, let us, because now people have started, you know, that time it was village setup.
Yes, yes.
So whatever the woman needs, the man is there.
Yes.
But then now, because the man has gone to work in Mombasa, the woman is here, you will need to be independent when I'm not there. So you are empowered.
Empowered.
yes.
You see?
So it's
But that
not-
empowerment now went to a certain limit that the proverbial. Na wanaume wengi wataki shida. Because these people,
Yeah.
the truth is, the words they speak, oh, you are there. You see,
Maybe I don't speak the words.
they go deep.
Yes.
And because the man is here, I'm sorting out things that at workplace, I'm sorting out things about business, I'm sorting out this about siblings.
Yes.
You see, I've had too much.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't want to quarrel with you. And because sometimes the way you are using the words, they are hitting so
They're
much.
hitting hard.
They are hitting hard. They are arousing and, you know, provoking my emotions.
Yes.
Gotcha.
And now I don't want to hit you because you see, by reflection, that is what I'll do.
Yes, yes.
So what do? I keep quiet.
Keep quiet, or even you walk away. Or
But when I keep
Bottle
quiet,
up.
I am meant to keep quiet for the day. You see, maybe until I cool down. But then what happens tomorrow? By in the morning, you are now, sasa umesema utaniongelesha. You see?
Pastor Sue, I want you to talk about, you know, the
Yes.
place of women
Yeah.
when it comes to mental health, especially in the things that they've said
Yes.
in marriage.
Yes.
What she's just saying.
Yes.
Munalala jioni,
Ehe.
menini asubuhi, sasa
Yes.
umesema utaniongelesha.
Ehe.
What is the place of women in terms of men's health? Mentally, in
Wow.
marriages, in relationships.
A very
today?
good question. Number one, the place of a woman is first of all understanding your man. Because we have different types of men,
Yeah.
men who are extroverts and others who are introverts. Especially if you have a husband who is an introvert, then, and you, the wife, you are an extrovert,
Yes,
you need to be extra careful because your words can really damage them. Remember, introverts don't take words for granted. It's not an, like
That
an
you're talking
extrovert.
about yourself and Pastor Monene.
Yes, yes, you're right. And so you have to be very purposeful what you are telling this man because some words, as he has said, can actually take a man into serious depression. Depression means you are in deep oppression.
Okay.
Just that word. So who has taken you deep? Your wife. Who is oppressing you? Your wife. And a real man who is a husband does not know how to fight the battles of the wife. So they opt to keep quiet. And when they keep quiet and bottle up these emotions, then they will come out as sickness, they will come out as anger, they will come out as rejection. He will run away. He doesn't want this person who keeps on tearing him down. And the way God has wired the man's ego, a man will always uplift, will always exalt anything that seems to humble before his hands.
Oh,
but anything that seems like it's competing with him,
Yes.
he also wants to
Yeah.
fight
Suppress.
back.
Many times.
And so
Suppress.
that's the science of men. And so even when I'm hurt by Pastor Monene, there's a way I package my things. I don't come out as a
Package.
woman.
I love
That is
I'll
very
tell him,
true.
you've really hurt
Very
me, my dear. I just needed that emotional support and you are not there for me. And I wondered, I'm showing him I'm really down. Not the other way around.
Not
They are
and I- what is the other way around?
And I can say this, you can still air your vision still with feminine energy. You don't need to be masculine. Because the minute you provoke a man to masculinity, and already he's wired for masculinity,
Yes, yes.
you are wired for femininity, you will always crash. So you must ensure what you are saying. And the most important thing is not what you are saying, is the tone. The tone really I wish every
Exactly.
man can hear.
Wow.
Your
That's
tone
powerful.
speaks words to a man. man. So even if you are saying it from a feminine point
Kama
of view.
umekasirika,
Hata kama umekasirika, femininity itokee. Because you see, the wiring of a woman, most of the women who have been empowered, we've learned from the environment, until you're masculine, you will not be respected.
Yes.
You will not be heard. No, it's a myth. In fact, if you want to be heard by a man, become more feminine, become more girlish, become more, but keep your firm and you know what you are speaking.
Yes.
Air your point without character assassination.
Okay.
You see that?
I like saying it as it is.
Without-
I want to agree with the
Yes. Yes.
yesterday. Most men know wherever I talk about a lot about me.
Yes.
Yes.
My wife came and told me that our son, our last born son,
Yes.
came to her room one in the morning. I had left. So our son commented, hey, that mom, your cologne iko strong sana. How she opened the windows and you see the way my wife was telling me.
Yes.
She's not complaining. She's telling me what my son, but it is something that has been bothering her. She's been wondering how to put it across.
Oh, okay.
So she put it across. Our son is the one who commented. You see, when I picked up that, I told her, okay, next time when you're around, I'll be either opening the windows or I'll be doing it outside.
Yes.
You see now how it has
The
gone.
how and the tone.
Now look at it the other way. Hii perfume yako inanichanganya, inani-oppress. Tu uende ukaeka na huko nje.
Kwanza inanuka aje.
See now the tone that we're
Now
talking
the
about.
tone.
Perfume
The
and
tone.
press.
So the same thing that has happened
Yes.
will go.
Yes.
But anyway, if we are going too much on the women, I hope I'll get a time now to talk to the men.
No, definitely.
Yes.
And actually, we're getting there.
Yes.
But it was important for us to put that into context.
Yeah.
You know, the
So,
place of women.
So understanding your man, the personality also helps you to be able to handle him in the right way. Number two, I also see, don't use a lot of physical, when you're talking to your man, wacha kuwa more like this, like you are banging, like you are holding a six. Those body gestures makes him feel like he's now, you know, addressing another man. Because men are the ones wanafanyanga mtu hivi. Sasa wewe ni nini? Kufanya mtu hivi is like you have umemweka chini. So a woman,
Yani sasa nikae hivi sasa.
sio kaa hivyo, but you can look this way. You know, when you look this way, he won't even, he can't hit you back. So that feminine energy is very important, especially when a man is agitated and when he's angry and upset. And you need to weigh. There are times you should also weigh. Women, we have a very sensitive, you're able to weigh, if I continue, things are going to get worse. And there'll be no toa. You know, you're able to guess. And I'm going to destroy the evening.
Yes.
So you stop at and then tell him, sasa tulikuwa tunakuoro nini? Mbona nileta hii topic? Si tupendane. You know, you are the one who creates the mood in the house. You get the point? You create the mood in the house by don't so much compete. Because already they are in competition. For you, don't come with a competition mentality. Come like you are coming in to shelf his emotions. You're getting that? Like when I find Pastor Munene down because of ministry, children, business, I come in like, Dad, what can we do? And you, what do you think? You see? I've asked him and then he has posted back. Then I tell him, suppose we do this. I'm suggesting, and then he tells me it's a good idea, but I would also want to add. You see that? That kind of, but not, sasa umenyamaza hivi unasema nini? What are you saying? Kuyo kunyamaza kwako unamaanisha nini? You know, when you talk, and when you talk that way, you are now becoming more masculine. And a man does not speak to another man who is a woman. He talks that to another man who is masculine like him. And so this kind of forums are very important to help us know how to handle each other amicably without causing friction within us. Number two, it is important for us to understand any conflict that comes between a husband and a wife, then if it is not discussed, it is not solved. Yeah, it's important. It has to be discussed somehow. Not really at this, let's sit down and discuss, but just bring it even in the car. Daddy, I don't know what is happening. Are you stressed? Because it seems like you are not sleeping. At night unaamuka mara mingi kwenda kwa choo. And I'm wondering, no, that's not you. Is there anything disturbing you? Why? Kwani niamuka mara na huwa wanakataa. Kwani nilikuwa naamuka mara mingi sana? Namwambia, unaamuka sana na shindo. Kwani ni sukari imeingia? You know, you just look like you are just there. And you will know, oh, somebody is concerned that I'm not able to sleep. So it's just a matter of getting in with your, what we said, with
The
feminine
feminine
energy.
Got
And you win this man because the man does not have the feminine energy.
Yes,
He has the masculine. He will listen to you.
Okay,
And so the tone matters, the body features.
Yes,
You know the way I love you. You are a girl.
Yes.
You are actually a girl. I just love Betty. I love the way you walk. I love the way you do this. That's being feminine.
Oh my goodness.
And it makes you unique.
Yes,
You don't need to be a man.
Sitting feminine energy.
Feminine
At least now we've
energy.
spoken to the women.
Thank you.
That one is
Yes.
done.
Let me
Pastor
say-
Mary, we need to just there's a break we need to take.
All right.
There's a break we need to take, and also I'm understanding from my good director that we
Yes.
have a lot of messages, so we
All
also
right.
want to do that.
All right.
So we'll take a break right now, and we're coming back with. Actually, let's go to some words on the street. Let's listen to some more, opinions from the street before we take that break. Let's listen to it.
Of them, they have been trained since childhood that as a man you need to be able to tackle your circumstances alone and to fight your wars so that you may be able to be the strong person who is able to take care of the family. Maybe once in life when you get yourself into marriage and you are somebody's husband and father to your children, you need to be strong like a lion, because when you begin to open up, most men think that it's a weak point.
It's because they fear judgment, I think, from other men, because most of the time men are told to be strong and to be able to take care of themselves so that they can be able to take care of others. So I think it's because they fear judgment from also other men and also from women sometimes.
I think men are held to a certain standards of being too masculine to the point of not showing their emotions. So whenever they show their emotions, it's inaonekana kama weakness.
Sometimes men, the masculinity in men does not allow them to talk. Unajua, sometimes it feels like uko na mashida zako. That's why wezi enda just to open up mtu mwelezee shida zako tena.
Si vizuri kunyamazia because you have to look for friends. Lazima uko na trusted friends because kwa wanaume pia tuko na watu ambao ukienda kuambia mtu shida yako bala kusaidie hata kunini ataanza kukusengenya, kuchekelea, aanze kutangaza. So the best thing to do, lazima uko na friends ambao hata kama ni friend moja utabakia na yeye. Usikuwe na friends wengi ambao wakati uko na shida ukienda kuambia watakusaidia. Kuwa na ule ambao una trust ambaye ukienda kuambia kitu kuna vile atakusaidia.
It is the mentality that they grow up knowing that as a man I am supposed to be tough, and crying in front of people or showing emotions is weakness.
Always you feel that he's a man. And that is why you see that men wanasema sisi ndio wanaume. Hata kwa nyumba wanasema mimi ni mwanaume, lazima akufe kifyake. But in real sense, ingelikuwa in our side, they have to speak up.
Well, thank you so much for everybody who shared. We have so much feedback that is coming in. Maswali ni mingi. Let me just share a couple of before we continue. Hata tuna break sasa. We have to keep it rolling. All right. So, hi Betty, it's Victor. Tuned in from Thika. I love your program so much. Say what? Recent research shows currently more than 80% young and middle Kenyan men are going through mental issues. Let today's panel really help us. We are all ears. Olembo Johnson from Eldoret to say ladies can be assisted with anybody, but women, things become so tough, we give ours to God to handle it. Somebody here, hello Betty, we as men are becoming vulnerable in society. We don't have jobs, but we're forced to cater to family needs. That's Nathan Rono. We'll continue, taking more. Thank you so much. Pastor Moreno, you had something to say, but as you say that, we have to now get to the solutions. You said, first of all, that, men need, a safe space, whether it's among friends, to be able to talk things out. But there's also something else about maybe believing in themselves. There's so much that as women we can do. Oh, Dad, we love you. Or you got this covered. Yeah. But also maybe sometimes, don't you think some things also come from within as men? I wouldn't know. I'm asking, for us to feel maybe strong about ourselves and also to appreciate ourselves even before the society does it for us.
Yes. Yeah, let me say one or two solutions towards overcoming this challenge of mental health. Number one, as a man, learn to accept what you cannot change.
Wow.
Okay.
Because Betty and my friends here will agree, there are things, no matter what you do, they will never change.
Oh, that's
Probably, when you are growing up, you are molested, you are abused. You went through very, people who really molested you. They mishandled your life. And you are so bitter with your auntie, with your uncle, because maybe your parents were not there. And so your past, it keeps on haunting you.
Wow.
So if you cannot change that, learn to let it go.
And heal.
So that you can heal quickly.
Yes.
To me, I think that one is very, very important. Maybe probably as a man, you are doing a business. Na moto ukapitia gikomba. Ikachoma biashara yako yote. Now, if the business has been burnt down and you have gone through millions of sharing, as a man, you may not change that. Pick up your broken pieces and move on. So to me, one of the key things in life is, if you cannot change something, learn to accept. Otherwise, it will keep on dragging you behind. It will keep on regretting why this happened. It also could be maybe a loss of a loved one. Could be your spouse.
Wow.
It could be your children. Something happened maybe and they left you. So you need to pray that the Lord will help you to, go past that. The second thing that is very important, which I can also say, is that as a man, if you want to overcome this challenge, learn to surround yourself with the people who matters most in your life, especially your wife and your children. That's a network that is very important for you. Don't keep them far. Learn to share with them, you know, what is, like I and Sue, we usually have meeting with our children.
Oh, yes.
Regardless of their age. We talk about what is happening today, what we are going through, what are the solutions. And you can imagine, even the youngest in our family, they will always give a solution.
I'm telling you.
To something that maybe we need. So we don't ignore the family. So as a man, I would say the closest network in your life, it is your wife, it is your children. Exactly.
Yeah. Got you.
Wow.
John, coming to the same question.
Yes.
Yes.
I agree with what he's saying. But the greatest question that men will always ask, and everybody will ask, and I'm saying this because I've been with men, very many men over the years.
Yes.
You're telling me to be strong. You're telling me to move on. You're telling me to forget this. How? And that is the question that most, even the audience will be asking.
Yes.
How? I don't know how to do it. I need support.
Exactly.
Where is that support going to come from? You have said I learn to associate with the wife and the children.
And maybe you are not agreeing with your wife.
Yes, it is hostile. The ground is hostile.
The children
To
are
me,
hostile.
one of the things that we need to do as a society is, first of all, to redefine strength, the stoicism of men, so that the demand of being strong is not as much as it is supposed to be.
Wow.
That even men can fail. We fail. We don't have to fake it. You know, most fathers are always number one to their children. In school, they're always number one. You see?
Yes.
But first of all, can we decriminalize both emotionally, legally also? You see, if I commit suicide, if I attempt suicide, the next thing now, according to the penal code, is I'll go to jail. Section 226.
Exactly.
I'll go to jail. So here I am, I'm suffering from emotions, I'm suffering from what I went through, but then I'm taken in and I'm put in. So what do the other people see? You see, there is a stigma.
Yes.
The stigma that is there is what we need to deal with, so that we can ease this pressure to the men. We give a conducive environment for the men to work out for who they are.
Yes.
Most men are needed to do it. what we lack is the support. When we fail, and like you have said, when I go to other men and they are judging me, I don't want to go to them.
Exactly.
Because I don't want to be seen as the weakling.
Yes.
You see? And this one started from when we were young. So the other thing that I would also say is we need to look at even in our curriculum. In our curriculum, the CBC or the CBE or whichever that is, that right from school, primary school, children are taught how to handle their emotions. Because one of the things that is contributing a lot now to is because we are not able to manage our emotions.
It is true.
You see? When for instance, I had a young man the other day who refused to go to school. And when I was called in and I was talking to him, and he told me he's the girlfriend, the girl that he has always wanted, ndio alimuacha, alimukata. So how do you handle failure? Even men, we don't know, because you see, we are meant to be leaders. That's what we are told. We are meant to be strong.
Yes.
So when I fail,
how do
I don't open up. I want to cover up. How do I cover up? I'll go to substance abuse. I'll go to the bars. You see? I'll go to the sports. And like I said somewhere else, when I go to the sports, I'm not going to deal with the issue that there was. I'm looking for Munene, we go and play a game together. But I'm not sharing with him what I had. So the problem is still there. So I'm looking for company for that time. Sometimes it may help to help me process of it a bit. But most of the times it doesn't, because the problem is still there. How do I deal with the problem that was there?
Wow.
Do I have somebody who will help me to work with it? And this is why I advocate for the safe space. That men can come together without any judgment.
Wow.
Let us have constant checking in. It doesn't even have to be an issue. We are just there. Let us just check in. How are you? How are you doing? How is your work? How is your family? You know? How is your sexuality? You know, these are things that we are talking about. How is your culture?
Important.
When you look at
Sexuality
today
part,
now,
yes.
today, there is a lot of pressure now, and I don't know why we are going back to that. And I thought it was only the Kikuyus, but in quite a number of communities.
Everywhere.
Men are now being pressurized in the culture way, to be men in the culture way. You go to the Kikuyus, they are slaughtering goats every other weekend. It is not solving the problems that they are there. These goats will not solve the problem.
It's very true.
You see,
Exactly.
we need to address the issues that were there.
Exactly.
There is a break that was there long time ago. And most of the times I say, okay, we are not living in the long time ago, there used to be barazas. When people would sit down together. When people would be told, wewe tunakuona mienendo yako na wasichana ama na wanawake sio ya mila yetu. You know?
Exactly.
But where do we have it these days?
So guidance.
We have a lot of independence, so I'm more left now to my own description. So when you come to tell me I'm doing it wrong, the first thing I look at you is by what standards. And you see, okay, just before I finish that, as human beings, all of us, even as we were talking about the female, in our mind, the way we are knitted, because that's what we need to understand. That part of the mind, the brain that I talk, the amygdala, that scans around. Now, when we are not safe, when it registers we are not safe, there are 4 things that will automatically switch on. One of them is fight. There are 4 Fs.
Wow.
It is a fight, freeze, flee, and fawn. So the fight is when my wife just comes and asks me something, I react. I become defensive. Sio kupenda kwangu. It is the amygdala that is there that just flapped. Or I will just freeze. Freezing, I will not talk. That is the silence that we are talking about. Or it is flee. How many times have you heard of men, tulikuwa tunaongea na yeye, na ni saa 3 usiku, saa 4 usiku. He just picked his car keys and he just drove off and went. Because he's fleeing away from there. Then the fawn is, I want to appease you. You see? So I will do things to you to appease you so that hii issue ishe. Si ati haiko, bado iko. You see?
I get it. Okay, got you. Wow. Well, this has been heavy, but very important.
Very.
Unfortunately, we've run out of time. I always hate to see. Imagine.
My God.
It already has been an hour. And I hate to say this, but we've come, we've run out of time. Let me give Pastor Sue just 30 seconds.
Wow.
Please, to just talk to the men, same as Munene. Pastor, let me Just 30 seconds, please.
Yeah, I just want to say to the men who are listening to us, it is important for you to take care of your two gates. Number one, your ear gate and your eye gate. What are the things that you're watching? What are the things that you're listening? Because you are a product of them. And so if you're not very careful what you're listening and what you're hearing, especially negative energy, you have to be able to shun it off from you, because the minute it gets into your mind, the way God has wired you, you are wired to operate in boxes. As we are wired to work like a spaghetti, cooked spaghetti. And so because for you, you are in boxes, don't allow any toxicity to get into your box, because when one box is messed, it can mess another box. I want to talk to the men and tell them self-care is very important. And how do you take care of yourself? You affirm yourself first. You appreciate yourself first. You give affection to yourself first, and then you can appreciate yourself. The 4 A's are very important. When a man does that, then you have energy. Though you are going through very hard moments, you can still have the energy to take care of your wife who is toxic, always loving. You can be able to take care of your children and be able to do your work effectively. And because God has given you, the energy to be a man, be that man that God has created you. And as Pastor Monene said, put God first, then the rest of the things will align themselves. God bless you.
Thank you so much. Number?
My number?
Yes.
Thank you. Let me say one thing before I give the number.
Yes.
And that is, as a man, hata kama unatafuta pesa, please, not 24 hours. Don't look for money 24 hours. It is important to take rest. It is important to give yourself sleep. And you be there, you relax. Otherwise, if you are always on the land, if you are always busy, you will break down. So take time and rest if you must do that.
I love that.
Thank you.
Number,
if you want to reach us, you can reach us for medical health, for, if you are...
One of the causes of mental illness is when a man is not able to function.
Yes.
Yes, let me stand now. Let me stand with you.
Let me stand with you, yes.
When a man is not able to do twatwa, and your wife is there demanding, and probably you have that erectile dysfunction, we are here to tell you there is hope. If you're there, you are a man, you're not able to rise up to the occasion because of diabetes, you have hypertension, you have arthritis, you have cancer, any other disease, we are here to tell you these things are reversible, and you're able to get back your manhood, because you also need to be a king in your area of twatwa. And so if you're there, you can call us this number and we're going to help you. If you have side effects of masturbation, ulinyonga, mambo ingine ikaingia, you're not able to perform, 0712 265 746 is the number to call, and we're going to help you. We are based at Kasarani, Clay City Medical, and we will treat you, and it's private, men, and confidential. Usikae hapo bila toa. There is no toa in heaven. God bless.
Good night.